Naruto is an amazing series, but it is not immune to flaws like everything else. Some jutsus, abilities, and plot points in the series are simply not well written, some of them being included in the story simply because the writer did not know how to make things happen in a more organic way. These abilities come up out of nowhere with no previous explanation, just because something needs to happen in the story. We like to call those ass-pulls because the writer is pulling them out of you-know-where. In this video, we're gonna be talking about some of those very bad situations where Kishimoto dropped the ball with the Naruto series. But before that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and ring the notification bell if you enjoy my content. So, Itachi and Sasuke fight Kabuto. They do everything they can to cancel out the Edo Tensei. And sure, Izanami is an asshole, but I've already talked about Izanami in a previous video, so I'm not gonna be talking about it here. But regardless, the Edo Tensei is undone, and the Edo Tensei bodies are just withering away. Their souls are climbing to the heavens. Except Madara Uchiha comes out of nowhere and reverses the Edo Tensei jutsu and breaks out of it with not much of an explanation. He simply says, "Oh, you don't know that? You just have to weave the hand signs. It's very simple, really. And then you break out of the jutsu, and now I am an immortal Edo Tensei with no summoner binding me. Isn't that great?" First of all, I love Madara. Madara is my favorite character, but I have to recognize that this moment is just very dumb. It's obvious that Kishimoto needed or wanted to keep Madara in the story, but he didn't really know how, so he just came up with this very lame excuse. I can understand Madara knowing the signs for the Edo Tensei jutsu because Madara is very intelligent and he would know several jutsus, so I don't think that part of him knowing the hand signs is bad. But reversing the hand signs and just, "Oh, look at me, I am free of the Edo Tensei restraints and my soul is not going back to heaven anymore." I don't know if Madara is in heaven, but you get my point. That was just so absolutely lazy. There were so many ways that Kishimoto could have used to keep Madara in the story that would have made sense, and I intend on doing some of those in my rewrite series, which you definitely should check out. The next big ass-pull that we have is Orochimaru coming back to life. Seriously, that was the worst resurrection ever.
Except for Kaguya's, of course.
It came completely out of nowhere. Sasuke was just like, "Oh, I saw Kakashi using the sealing jutsu on the curse mark one time." Sasuke was barely awake when Kakashi did that to him, so he probably shouldn't even be able to recollect the hand signs. Also, Sasuke wasn't even looking at Kakashi whenever he performed the hand signs for the sealing jutsu, so unless Sasuke awakened the Byakugan or can see behind his back, he shouldn't be able to remember the hand signs anyway, but that's okay. Let's let that one slide. Now, the problem is Sasuke reverses the hand signs and the jutsu works in reverse. There is no precedent for you to reverse the hand seals and then the jutsu works in reverse. That's just not how it works. Apparently, this is something we can always do now. So, for example, if I use the fireball seals in reverse, do I spit an ice ball? Because that's the vibe I'm getting from this ass-pull Kishimoto came up with. It doesn't make sense. Why is it introduced so late in the story? Don't you think it would have been very interesting to use that before in times of need? Not to mention that when Kakashi performed the sealing jutsu on the curse mark, he had to draw 1,000 symbols on the ground and around Sasuke with his own blood for the jutsu to work. And Sasuke doesn't do anything like that when he is reversing the curse mark seal. He gets a little bit of Kabuto meat, but other than that, he doesn't do the blood ritual thing, which was the coolest part about Kakashi's original jutsu. But that's not the worst part about Orochimaru coming back to life. No. The worst thing is, he wasn't in Anko. Orochimaru should not be inside of Anko because that's where Sasuke got Orochimaru from. He pulled him out of Anko through the curse mark. That's not how the curse mark works. This came completely out of nowhere. Are you telling me that Orochimaru puts a part of himself in everyone he gives a curse mark to, because he gave curse marks to hundreds of people. He was inside of Sasuke during Sasuke's battle against Itachi because Sasuke actually absorbed Orochimaru's real body, and that's why Itachi was able to extract Orochimaru out of Sasuke, and not because Sasuke had a curse mark. So on top of the reverse hand signs being able to reverse a sealing jutsu, Orochimaru is somehow inside of Anko. This is very, very stupid. I don't think it's a bad idea to bring Orochimaru back into the arc. As a matter of fact, he should have been the main villain instead of Kabuto, but just find a better way to do that. The next Aspel that happens in Naruto is also involving Orochimaru. It's not necessarily a jutsu or a technique, it's the Uzumaki Shinigami mask, which allows Orochimaru to get his arms back and summon the first 4 Hokages. Now, I do not think it's a bad thing for the 4 Hokages to have returned during the arc. It's a great idea, but the way it happened didn't make sense whatsoever. So, there was this Shinigami mask laying around the Leaf Village all along that could have released a curse on Orochimaru's arms ever since he got his arms sealed by Sarutobi in part 1, and Orochimaru never thought about going and grabbing it. It is implied that Orochimaru has known about the mask for a long time now. In part 1, instead of him going for the mask, he goes searching for Tsunade to get her to heal his arms instead of just going and grabbing the mask. Nobody was even watching it. It was in a ruin. You could just grab the mask and get your arms back. Hiruzen sacrifice was the dumbest thing anyone's ever done, because apparently there was an artifact laying around that could just undo it instantly. And then of course the 4 Hokages come back as well, because the Reaper Death Seal is undone and yada yada yada. You'll know the story. You could have at least foreshadowed the mask somehow. Why wouldn't Orochimaru tell the Sound 4 while they are in the Leaf Village grabbing Sasuke to go and get the mask? They were right there. Nobody noticed that the Sound 4 infiltrated the Leaf Village. They should have just go and grab the mask, grab Sasuke, go back, Orochimaru gets his arms back, everyone's happy. Of course the reason is because Kishimoto came up with that way later. He needed to bring the 4 Hokages back, and he needed Orochimaru's arms back as well, and there wasn't really much for him to do there because he hadn't set up anything for it. It had to be an Aspel, and a very bad one. That's probably one of the worst plot points in Naruto.
Except for Kaguya's, of course.
Though I am more forgiving about it because it led to some very great moments. For instance, my favorite Naruto volume is volume 63, which is the backstory of Madara and Hashirama. And we only got that because Hashirama was brought back to life when Orochimaru got his arms back, and then Hashirama told them the story. So many great things happened because of this Aspel, and I just wish that they had set up for that a little bit sooner. A little bit of foreshadowing for the mask, you know, could have worked very well. And in my rewrite Naruto series, I have already started the foreshadowing for that mask. If you've paid attention, you noticed it. I was actually very blunt about it in the episode that I foreshadowed the mask, so you probably didn't miss if you watched it. If you're interested in the rewriting Naruto series, definitely check it out in this video right here. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and thanks for watching.